You know, the shadow behind me does kind of look like Mario holding a tombstone. Spooky. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the final day of 13 Days of Horror. Happy Halloween. I'd like this series to go out on a bang, so the final movie is Machine Girl. A movie about a woman with a machine gun for an arm. That's all I know. Let's watch. 13 Days of Horror. Ends on a high note. I like this movie. Not a good movie, in fact really stupid, but very, very entertaining, especially if you like gore. Do you like gore? I like gore. This movie has gore, and lots of it. The effects aren't good. I mean, this isn't like Tom Savini level of really good gore effects. Even the movie I watched a couple nights ago with Dream Home, that had some pretty good gore effects, and this is 2008. This is a modern movie. The effects are kind of terrible. I mean, there's a person who gets split in half with a sword, and he falls apart like this. And it's a rubber body being held up from below the screen with the people going, jiggle, 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 so it jumps around and there's blood spurting all over the place. So it's not a good effect, but it's still fun. I think all of the budget actually went into fake blood and fake bodies that could be hacked up and little parts thrown around. Interestingly, I think they forgot to budget out the actual machine gun arm for the titular Machine Girl. Like Ash in The Evil Dead, who loses his hand and gets a chainsaw hand, she loses her arm and gets a machine gun arm. And the prop used in the movie is this really floppy piece of molded rubber. It doesn't have any moving parts, the barrel doesn't spin, nothing. It's this molded piece of rubber that just kind of flops around. It's great. There's this guy, he's building it, he's working, he's using a wrench, and they have that sounds from a wrench, and that was a horrible wrench sound effect. It's this piece of rubber that's floppy, and oh god, is it funny. What's the story? Okay, girl's brother dies, and she goes out for revenge! That's it. Well, her brother and her brother's best friend die, so she goes out for revenge! But the brother's best friend's parents want revenge also. So she teams up with them. They're mechanics, and so they build her a machine gun arm. She tried to get revenge herself, but the bad guys, who are, of course, the Yakuza, chopped off her fingers, and then a couple more fingers, and then chopped off her whole arm. But she escaped. And went to the parents of her brother's friend who got killed, and they build her machine gun arm, but ninjas show up! And these are, like, Power Ranger ninjas who have to gesticulate and talk and pose! Ha! Doing... And they're the junior high varsity ninja squad. And they pose, and oh man, it's great. And they get into this fight while, so the wife and our one-armed machine girl are fighting ninjas, and the husband's in the back trying to get the machine gun arm, and it's still this floppy piece of rubber. And, oh man, so she gets the machine gun arm, and she machine guns this guy in the face, and it turns into this gooey skeleton face with big googly eyes. You've seen the cover for Evil Dead 2, right? It's a skull with actual human eyeballs in it. Imagine that just kind of... You remember the tar zombie in Return of the Living Dead? That really creepy thing? It's that gooey black skeleton-looking thing with the eyeballs. Imagine that, only red gore instead of black tar. It's kind of what it looks like. It's great. People get holes blown in them, bisected. There's a most of it's practical. There's a couple computer-generated effects. and they're terrible, but there's enough actual groove flying around. It's great. What's actually funny is the ninjas who are I'm not kidding here, the junior high, what did I say? The junior high varsity ninja squad or something like that. So there are kids in junior high who are ninjas, and all three of them die. Well, their parents mourn their death, and now these parents are after revenge on Machine Girl and the other mechanic woman. The husband dies. He gets a bunch of shurikens, really big shurikens, thrown at him, and he gets bisected into a bunch of pieces and completely falls apart. And the wife is, no, no, holding up a small piece of his head, no, and cradling this, no, honey, he's cradling this pancake-shaped wedge of his head. Oh, man. The movie is just an excuse to do gore gags, and I'm okay with that. There's a... Let me give you a few more examples. There's a guy taking a bath. This is the dad of one of the bullies that killed her brother. Who cares who it is? So he's in the bathtub, shampooing his hair, and he goes, "Honey, there's no conditioner in here. Could you bring in some conditioner?" And Machine Girl is in there, and she says, "I've got something special for you." And she draws back the curtain, and she's holding the decapitated corpse of his son, and she goes, "Try this to condition your hair," and she squeezes the corpse, and gore comes flying out of the neck, and he's, "Ah!" and it's all getting in his face and everything. Oh, so great. The mother of the main bad guy is, she has a drill bra, which is a bra with drill bits built into it that go spinny, spinny, spinny. And she's like, "Ha-ha, drill bra, spinny, spinny, spinny." And it's like, "I'm going to hug you tight. Ah!" And she hugs Machine Girl, and of course she's got two big drills pressing into her chest, and gore's flying all over the place as she's hugged. Oh, so great. I recommend this movie. It's, there are a couple spots that slow down a little bit, but how can you keep that up for an hour and 40 minutes? Definitely worth a watch. Again, the effects aren't good at all, but they are fun. The parents of the ninja squad, the varsity ninja squad, whatever their name is, they go to the Yakuza and they get outfitted in almost football gear with some type of gun that attaches to their forearm, and so they get in a fight there, and one of them lops an arm off and grabs the arm and starts beating someone over the head with it. The main Yakuza bad guy, he has a low-rent version of the Flying Guillotine. If you've seen Master of the Flying Guillotine, it's that kind of a thing. Only, again, it's a really cheap-looking piece of rubber. But it's still fun. If you haven't seen that movie, it's basically a basket with jagged teeth along the edges. So what you do is the basket is attached to a chain. You throw it at somebody. It lands over their head, and it has a little teeth there, and you yank it, and you pull their head off. There have actually been several movies that use an implement like that. I think Master of the Flying Guillotine is probably the most famous, probably the best one, too. But I have never seen one of those flying guillotine contraptions actually catch somebody's foot. Because one girl, she kicks at the guy, and he catches her foot in the flying guillotine weapon, and of course breaks it off, and cuts it, severs it, and blood everywhere. It's great. Oh man, is this movie fun. The characters are... Oh, who cares? This is like posturing the movie. Everyone posture. It's kind of like Power Rangers. The director is just, look cool. Look cool. Oh man, this movie's fun. So, The Machine Girl, if you like just a fun, gleefully gory movie, I recommend it. Just a ton of fun. Low budget, very cheap, but oh man, was that a joy to watch. I'm glad I saw that. So, that's it. So concludes 13 Days of Horror.